What is up and welcome back, and in today's video I am going to show you the stutter step. Now with this move you can freeze your defender or get them a bit off balance or out of position, so then you can drive right past them. Also with this move, in some situations it's just going to be better to just pull up for the shot. So I am going to give you all those small little details that are going to make a big difference. Going to show you how you can do this move efficient, plus how you can read that defender so you can know what's going to be better, either the drive or, like we said, the shot. So with that said, let's begin with what the move looks like. So now we're going to get into all the small details, and the first one is going to be the distance between you and your defender. So definitely you're going to want to kind of spot up with this much distance between you and your defender, because that's going to give you enough room to operate, because you don't want to be so close. If you're this close and you're doing stutter steps, you're going to be stuck in this loop. While being so close to that defender, he can knock this ball loose or take it. Okay, so being so close is not going to be too advantageous. Also, being too far back out, right? Starting the stutter step too far back out, you're going to be wasting a lot of energy. And then when you make your move, that defender is going to see it, have enough time to recuperate and slide over. Okay, instead, pick a good amount of distance. Kind of what you're seeing right here. I would say it's maybe around 3 feet. I think 3 feet pretty appropriate, because think of it like a football stutter step. In football, you don't want to give that defender, if you're a wide receiver, too much time to react. When you're on that line, right, once the ball is hiked, you want to do your move and then go, right? Where that defender has very minimal time to react. Same thing in basketball. You want to not give that defender hardly any room to react. The faster you can do your stutter steps and close that gap, the better it's going to be. Okay? So this is the space you want to operate, and you want to be fast. Okay? It's going to be very key. So moving on. So now we're going to talk about footwork, and this next section is very vital. So definitely, if you do the stutter step standing straight up, with your chest up, and you just shuffle your feet like this, that can get some players, but it's definitely not going to get the more top tier defensive players. They don't look at feet many times, right? So if you're doing all this and the ball's up here and your body's nice and straight and just the feet are moving, I mean, that's going to have that defender just waiting for that ball when it's coming down to strip it. Okay? Instead, I'm going to show you some footwork that's going to be very helpful. So first of all, I'm going to show you the 3-step combination. Then I'm going to show you the 4-step combination. Okay, 3-step stutter. It's going to be 1 out, in, and then back out. Okay, so 3, 1, 2, 3. You see that? A little bit faster. 1, 2, 3. Okay, with the ball, so you can see what that looks like. You can take off. Okay, one more time, coming down, and you're gone. You see how with speed, that stutter step can really get that defensive player guessing where you're trying to go. Okay, the 4-step. 4-step is going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just measure that distance appropriately. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're gone. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that? Now I'm going to add a few more extra details because I know some players might need them. One of them being learning how to coordinate shuffling your feet and having the ball in your hand. So if you're having a hard time doing this, or you find yourself losing the ball too many times, one of the reasons for it might be that you're holding the ball, then you're shuffling your feet. It's going to be a lot more easier if you let the ball bounce, and as the ball is coming back up, that's when you start shuffling your feet. And I'll demonstrate. You saw that? I'll try to exaggerate a little bit more so you can see it. Okay, so definitely learn it this way. The simplest way is going to be the most efficient. So it's very good to get this method down. Now, if you are a lot more advanced player, you can mess around with the timings of the stutter step. And the way to do this is do the stutter step when the ball is actually in your hand, right? You're bouncing it, and then it's in your hand. Then you start shuffling your feet, okay? Or even take it the next step further. You can actually stutter step while the ball is coming down, right? And that right there is going to take a lot more skill, but believe me, if you're able to add different timings to your game, it is going to throw some defenders off. And you never know when you're going to need that extra timing. So it's good to be prepared. And if you have the skill, why not? Okay? So those are going to be some options. And like I mentioned in a lot of videos, try to learn to sell the move. In this case, with the arm movement, you can swing that off arm. The more you can sell a move, the better. The off arm is going to help you with that swivel movement, right? I know a lot of people love to see that the swivel movement, right? Looks really nice, really elite. Also, the shoulders, right? Shoulders help out a whole lot. Okay? And lastly, the head movement is as simple as just turning your head. Then back on route. Back on target. And you're gone. Okay? So, those three things, you can mess around with those three variables. They do help out a whole lot. And again, don't try to do too much if you're learning this move for the first time, or if your skill ain't that where it needs to be. Instead, practice little by little and start adding those small details to your game. It's going to help out a whole lot. So that's going to do it for the stutter step. And if you do like what you're seeing, please sub and like. It does help me out a whole lot. I am a smaller channel, so every little bit goes a long way. And I appreciate everybody who tunes in, and we'll be back next week with more moves. Until then, peace.